Hey guys, Steve here with a double review. This time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Tri-Bachelor and Deluxe X-Bachelor from Tomica Hero Rescue Fire. These are the main tool slash weapon of Fire 1, 2, and 3, and the transformation device slash main weapon of Fire 1X respectively. So, let's get started. First up, we'll look at the Tri-Bachelor starting in extinguisher mode. Now, the first thing I want to address with this toy is the condition it's in. You can see that it has this tube on the side which is in a weird condition where it's partly cut off and has some tape on it and has tape on here, and that has a story behind it. So, funnily enough, this is the only Rescue Fire toy I've gotten so far that has technically come in new condition. And out of the box, it had this tube that was connected here, and had this piece, which is supposed to tab in here, be disconnected. When I went to tab it in, part of the plastic that was meant to keep it in place broke off. So I tried a few different things, tried to glue it in place, tried to kind of make little incisions in the tube to make it bend a little bit easier to go in place, and it eventually got to the point where I kind of screwed this thing so much that I decided to just cut it off. But for the time being, I guess, essentially just decided to have it taped on here, and I added some tape to fix up the little cuts in here. I also have added a bit of tape onto the speaker here, and that's to muffle the sound, since, as you'll hear later in the video, this thing is actually pretty loud. Anyway, this is the default mode, which is a fire extinguisher, as is fitting of Rescue Fire. You got the main coloring being red, gold, and white. Up here we have a nice chrome gold dragon head, which comes down to this middle portion, which has the R symbol, which is done up in chrome silver. You got the bottom section down here and the top section up here, and it's pretty clear that one part is plastic while one part is paint, and they didn't exactly pick the best color of paint to match the plastic. This will have the safety pin for the fire extinguisher up here, as well as the fire extinguisher grip right here, and of course the tube. And on the back side, we've got some similar details, but just with some parts being placed with paint instead of having clear parts like here. So, to start, we'll switch it on. We've got the power switch here. You see, it has both lights and sounds. So, for extinguisher mode, the play feature is that you just press and hold the trigger, really while detaching the tube to hold it aloft. For continuous extinguishing sound. And obviously, let me reattach the tube, and then we can move on. Moving on, next we'll change the Tri-Bachelor into gun mode, which is a very simple process. All you have to do is take this part at the bottom and collapse it inwards. We'll get that activation noise, and now it's in gun mode, where we have this silver barrel sticking out, and this part down here that becomes the gun trigger. This has a few different play features. First is your basic shooting sound by pulling the trigger. And then it has a couple of more features, which are done by pressing and holding the trigger. So, if I take my hand and wave it over this part in the back, that produces a rapid fire sound. This is done through a special light sensor that detects whether or not there is light being shining onto this part, and if I block it off, that's what activates the lights and sounds. Something interesting is that you can actually see the sensor blinking purple on my camera or on the video footage, but in real life this is invisible to the naked eye. So my camera must be able to pick up the infrared light or whatever light is shining from that sensor. The other thing we can do is a dragon charge, which is done by taking your hand and holding it up to the sensor, then releasing it. and that activates the Blizzard Bullet. Now, something that's interesting is you can actually take your finger off the trigger while it's charging, and then release it, and it'll work in the same way. And the third thing we can do with this is change it into sword mode. So for that, we'll pull the safety pin, or the safety ring, and straighten out the trigger, which will then release this part, and extend that, and we have it in sword mode, where it has the same type of play features as gun mode. First we have the basic attack, then the wave, which is kind of a broad swoosh, then the dragon charge, which activates the Blizzard Slash. Next, we'll look at the Bachelor in sword mode. So, for this is a more traditional looking sword, with a grip and a blade. I'll take a look at it from the bottom up. At the bottom we have this golden pommel, moving up to the main hilt, which has the R symbol, a key with several different modes you can change it between, which would be X fire up, X attack, final rescue, energy, and then turning it once more, let you ignition. We then have this part, which has a wheel on the center, which is part of the main gimmick of the toy, as well as a golden X, and on the side you can notice two miniature tri-bashers, as well as these patrol lights which have some kanji stickers on them. Moving across the silver blade, we then come up to the top, which has a nice red and gold dragon head, with another kanji sticker up here, and you do have to apply these stickers yourself. Funny thing about this is that you can clearly see that this was used when I got it, with all the paint scratches, but the stickers had not yet been applied. And the back we have on the back we have the back side of the blade, which is unpainted, as well as this part down here, which will come into play for the alternate mode. The battery compartment here, and the power switch here. And I guess you also make note that the battery compartment here on the tri-bachelor is on the grip. And both of these take 2 AAA batteries to work. So let's start. We will turn on with the switch. And it'll now activate. Though as you can hear, this one is quite a bit quieter than the tri-bachelor for some reason. It might just be due to age, it might just be the way the toy is designed. So the first thing you can do is that when it's just like this, pressing the button here with the R symbol will expand out these fins from the blade, as well as give you some light and sounds. Now it's already on X fire up mode for the transmission, so to activate we need to spin the wheel continuously until it says charge up, then press the button. I'll press the button, and you get the transmission for Fire 1X. You can see there are 4 red lights here and then 1 green light up here. Pushing the button while it's like this give you a basic attack sound. Next we'll switch it to X attack mode, and charge up again. That activates the Ryuo X Giri, or Dragon King X Slash, the special attack for Fire 1X. Then we have Final Rescue mode. That activates the X Crash, the final rescue for X Dragon Robo. Then you have Energy mode. And that gives you an energy recharge sound. Now, something interesting about this is that there's a slight random element to this mode, as at the very end it'll have one of the 5 lights light up at random, and then for the ignition mode, or just for the ignition, you get that ignition sound. And one thing of very important notice is that for each mode a different light illuminates. This also has an extinguisher mode, which is activated or changed into by taking this handle here and pulling it outwards. So now we have this end, which becomes the extinguisher barrel, letting you press and hold the trigger for the same continuous extinguisher play or extinguisher sounds as with the Tri-Bachelor. Though this doesn't affect the wheel gimmick. And for a little comparison, here are the two next to each other, where you can see that the X Bachelor is a little bit longer than the Tri-Bachelor, but I would say that it's a bit more well proportioned, as you have a longer blade overall and just a better ratio of grip to blade. And there we go. Overall, these are two interesting standalone toys, each with their own unique gimmicks. Compared to nowadays, where across the Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, and even Ultraman series, a lot of the big roleplay toys are dependent on smaller collectible items, it's a refreshing change of pace to go back and take a look at things like these, where you can just buy the toys and get everything out of the box, just be able to enjoy it completely without needing to buy anything else. And in that regards, these two do quite well. They have nice, simple, but interesting play features, and they are enjoyable for what they are. And with that, this comes to the end of my Rescue Fire reviews for the time being. This is everything that I have, and the only thing that I'm really missing would be the Jet Caliber, which is the transportation device and weapon for Fire 4 and Fire 5. And while I have seen listings of it online, I've only seen listings for the Korean version, and if I'm going to get this, I plan on getting the Japanese version, since that has the original sounds, as the Korean one has different voice lines. So if I ever do get the Jet Caliber, rest assured I will be reviewing it, but I do not have it as of yet. Next time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Kishi Ryujin. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KR50, writing off.